Hey, it's Dr. Ganatra, and in this one, I want to share with you the #1 report you have to print out in your practice to generate more money. Now, I call this the money report because it's going to help your team get more focused on what they should be doing daily. It's going to help you get cases back into your practice, and it's almost a guarantee that once you print this report out and you take the steps I'm going to show you, that you will generate more money in your office this week. Now, most offices don't even look at this report. In fact, they let it get so big and it stacks up and they print it out sometime and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's this many patients on it. Not you. So here's the report. It's called the Unscheduled Treatment Plan Report. That's what I call the money report. Why do I say that? Well, the Unscheduled Treatment Plan Report gives you a report, a list of all of the people that have come into your practice, what treatment's been diagnosed, the fact that they haven't scheduled back in for it, that's why it's unscheduled. It tells you all the treatment that's been diagnosed, when it's been diagnosed, exactly what type of treatment it was, and it gives you the amount or the number or the dollar amount that entire treatment costs. Now, you can easily print this out using your dental practice management software. You just go in there, you search Unscheduled Treatment Plan Report, you print it out, all the people that you've diagnosed, they haven't come back in yet, and what's the dollar amount? That's step #1. You do that today, right? Next step is this: get your staff or your team focused. Have them go through the report, and you have to let them know, hey, I want you to go through this report. Anyone that has a treatment plan over $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it is, make sure you have like buckets for it. Anyone over 2,000 to 4, this bucket. Anyone over 4,000 to 10,000, this bucket. Whatever that is, I want you to segment that report. And the next thing I also want you to do is segment it and separate it based on treatment. People that have Invisalign, people that have been diagnosed with crowns, people that have been diagnosed with just restorative, people that have been diagnosed with implants. So you got these buckets of like, okay, everybody that's over $2,000, they've been diagnosed with just restorative, this bucket. Everybody that's over 5 or 10,000, they've been diagnosed with implants, this bucket. So now you've segmented that report. You're like, this is pretty much what we have here. You have a clear idea, your team has a clear idea of all the people that you've diagnosed, they haven't come back in, and there's specific treatments in their chart. The next step is this: third step, you have to create an offer or a bundle or a package or a reason for them to come back in. Remember, patients just don't get stuff done without a reason. And recare and recall isn't a good enough reason for someone to come back into your office, even though people do, right? But they come back in for the recare. And our job as a clinician is to make sure that patients can come back in for the specific treatments that we have in their chart, not just their cleanings. So you have to sit down with your team and you got to say, hey, if we're going to get, Tom back in the office and he needs 2 crowns and an implant, what can we offer him to come back in? What's the bundle? What's the package? What's the incentive for him to get this treatment done this next month? Figure out what that incentive is and say, hey, this is the incentive. And then have your team call Tom and say, hey, Tom, we got something going on this month. I noticed that you have some decay on that lower right, and Dr. Ganatra looked it over, and I know we've been waiting on this for a few months, and we don't want it to get worse, but I thought of you because here's what we have going on in the office. This month, when you get the 2 crowns done, we're also including the cleaning, and we're including the whitening, and then what we're also doing is we're sending you home with the whole whitening kit, and then you're also going to get our best offer or our package deal on the work, because you also need the implant. So if we schedule for all these things together, you don't have to do them in 1 month, but if we just schedule for things and we can manage payment and we can figure out when you're going to come in, then you're going to get this package. So now that's the offer. And then have your team ask them, are you interested in something like this? Can we get you back in? Because we know it needs to be done. The decay is getting bigger. We saw the x-ray, it's 2 months ago. And if we can get you back in, you'll not only get that additional financial incentive, maybe you get 5 or 10, 15% off, you'll also get the whitening done. We're going to send you home with the whitening package. And then you're also going to get the special deal on that implant on the top over here too. So we can bundle all this thing up, all these treatments up, and we'll get you back in. You can get it done next month and the month after. But I figured I'd call you because I know you're interested in this, and I know that this needs to get done. And we're doing this specifically right now. How is that, Tom? Can I schedule you next week on Tuesday at 3 p.m.? Does that work for you? Give them a time and a date for the following week. Now, you've done 3 things. You've printed out a report. It's given you an idea of what they need, where they need it, what exact treatment, the treatment amount, when it was diagnosed previously, and it's also given your team a task or a thing to do specifically for that patient. And they can come into work every day knowing that, okay, one of the most valuable things I can do today is to call out on a patient, get them back in so that way that patient can get work done. That amounts to revenue. That amounts to money. That's like what's the lifeblood of your practice. So now your team has a task, and then you've given your patient a bundle or offer or a package with a clear reason to get it done at this time with you, at this day, at this month, with this incentive. You see, when you can link those 3 things together, you got the unscheduled treatment plan report, the money report, you got your team calling, and you got an offer or a bundle or package for the patient, you're almost guaranteed to get somebody back in this week to start on treatment that was once sitting in the books, in the computer, in your hard drive, whatever it is, in the cloud. So start printing out your unscheduled treatment plan report. Get your team on this. Give them a goal to call at least 2 or 3 people a day with a bundle or a package or an offer to get them to come back in and get treatment done. Don't wait on the recare appointment. Don't wait on the recall appointment with the hygienist. Get them back in for treatment. That's where you generate revenue and grow your practice. I'm not against doing the hygiene, but guess what? The treatment, that's where you're going to see growth in your practice revenue. And you're also going to see your patients being impacted with better dentistry consistently. So I hope this one helped. Make sure you print out that unscheduled treatment plan report. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. I love making these for you. I will see you in the next one. Live inspired.